A company called MyHeritage. It's a discovery platform that helps you find people related to you. So think like a 23andMe. I think you take a DNA test, use it to do genealogy, family research. They just released a free tool called AI Time Machine. And you upload a photo of yourself, and an AI creates hyper realistic avatars of you in different historical time periods. So you can show yourself in prehistoric times, ancient Egypt, modern times. There's also black and white photos that look like they're from like the 1940s. It's just a cool little twist on this hyper popular photo app concept like a Lensa, which we've talked about. And the reason I mention it is for a couple reasons. One, it's just getting a ton of buzz. I think it's another interesting example of AI becoming really accessible to show people exactly what it is capable of and kind of blow them away. I know there's a lot of people using these, testing these out. I saw a lot of journalists trying it out recently. But also, I think it's an interesting marketing strategy because MyHeritage has also released multiple AI tools that have gotten a ton of buzz. And obviously, we're talking about it. So it's working too. So I guess first I wanted to kind of ask, do you just anticipate these types of like consumer image AI apps, just like really accessible consumer apps to become kind of super popular moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely. I mean, we're a marketing show and an AI show. I guess a marketing AI show. But the marketer in me, first and foremost, is just like applaud, like
Yeah.
just brilliant marketing. So, if people don't know my background, I started HubSpot's first agency. So, like PR 2020, my agency I started in 2005, became HubSpot's first partner in 2007. So we were there in the early days when Dharmesh Shah created the website grader and launched website
Mhm.
grader as a lead gen vehicle for HubSpot, which has been used millions of times and generated millions of leads through the years. And all they did was created a tool. Like in that case, it was a value-based tool. Um, that's all my heritage has done here is like they looked at
Right.
AI and said, cool, how do we create some like viral tool that people either find fun, interesting, maybe there's some emotion tied to it. And so good on them as marketers to just look and say, what are we capable of doing to market our brand that we couldn't do before? And so, yeah, I mean, they had the one where you could animate. So they
Yeah.
deep nostalgia, I think they called it, where
Yes.
you could animate, and then they did live story where you could actually synthesize voices. If you had a deceased relative's voice, you could train a synthetic voice on it and then animate the photo. So if you like your kids never met the grandparent, you
Yep.
could actually bring a photo to life and have it in the voice. Like creepy as hell. I don't know that I would do it. Like it kind of like gives me the heebie jeebies a little bit, but brilliant, and I'm sure it's wildly successful. So I think that's my first take is it's genius marketing. Kudos to them for doing it. They obviously have someone on that team, which we should probably try and get on the show,
Yep.
who must be the brains behind this, who's looking at AI and saying, and I think that is maybe the greatest takeaway here is what did they do to infuse AI into their marketing, and
Mhm.
what lessons can we learn as brands and as marketers to do the same? What is the opportunity for us to create something that's a hook or a lead gen magnet or a value creation that can draw people in and build an audience? Um, but in their case, it's just brilliantly connected to their actual brand and value proposition. Like it's so well done. I don't know who the marketer is behind this, but I'd like to.
Yeah. I thought what was really cool, even going one level further on the marketing genius here, is if you think about it, I mean, I don't know anything about the genealogy space, but you got to figure one of the bigger barriers is people sometimes just don't care enough to
Yeah.
go do that kind of research, right? There's obviously people very passionate about it, but if you sit someone down who's not super into that space, it's just like, ah, okay, like, look at a bunch of old documents about maybe a photo or two, if you're lucky,
Yeah.
of like very old relatives. This like makes this experience something completely mind blowing.
Yep.
It changes the game and just really connects in a way to their it probably transforms in some way their space itself and how you might even be doing certain genealogical research or investigation moving forward.
Yeah.
There's a lot
And
of interesting potential there.
I agree. And I think, again, it's like once you understand what AI is capable of, you need to connect the dots in your own career and
Mhm.
business. Like, so I don't know, whatever field you're in, like look at this and say, okay, what's the parallel to me? Like, what could I be doing that would be like so cool and out of the box that someone who doesn't understand AI would never think to do because you wouldn't even know it's possible. And that was one of the themes of our book is like, you just look at problems differently once you understand AI. Like once you know what you can do with language AI and vision AI and predictive modeling and stuff, you just start to think about things very differently. So if you were on the demand gen team at MyHeritage and you're trying to like fill the funnel with leads or whatever, and you were doing it through ebooks and webinars and direct mail, whatever you were doing before,
Yeah.
and then someone comes along and is like, hey, why don't we animate dead people? You're basically like, do what, dude? What are you talking about? And then we'll like create synthetic voices. We'll train it on like, well, if people upload recordings of their deceased relatives, and we'll train synthetic voices. Everyone in the room's gonna be like, "Yeah, I think you need to leave." Like,
Listen.
but that's where we're at in marketing right now. Is like be the one in the room who has that idea where everybody else is looking at you like, "What are you talking about?" And you know it's doable
Yeah.
because you've seen it and you know what AI can do. So yeah, I love that you picked this one because I think it is it's more of like a strategic, creative avenue
Yep.
where people need to connect some dots on their own, but they're there to be done. It's so cool.
It really is. It's pretty stunning. What we should, yeah, if by any chance the MyHeritage team listens
Yeah,
to
if you're the
this episode,
CMO,
we'd love to talk.
I'm going to look it up right as we get done here. But yeah, if you're the CMO or the brains behind this initiative, like hit us up. We'd love to have you at the conference and get you on the podcast.
Absolutely.